That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. Before you get onto the local old bill or whatever, this is a scene out of Crocodile Dundee. It's alright, I'm not going to fucking threaten anyone with a knife. Not my style. More of a firearms man myself. Not really, I'm fucking joking. Don't get fucking keen. This is how wars start. Anyway, why did I do that? It's because I've got some Aussie beer. If I think Aussie beer, I think Castlemaine 4X, VB, Swan, or what's the other one? Tui's. But I've got a bottle of this. This is Cooper's Pale Ale. Now, Cooper's are quite an interesting brewery. They've been around quite a while, and they are the largest Australian-owned brewery. When I say Australian-owned, I mean there's no, AB InBev, no Heineken, Carlsberg, etc., that own them. So that's pretty unique. Another thing that's unique about them is all their beers are bottle conditioned, including this stuff. This is their flagship beer. This is the original Pale Ale, and this has been going since 1989, and it's bottle conditioned, which is something that I don't think I can name off the top of my head another brewery that brews as much as them that's bottle conditioned. So that could either be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know, but they've been going since 1862, Coopers. So they're pretty well established in Australia. They're based in a place called Adelaide, which I've been told is the suicide capital of Australia. I don't know what's going on there, but that's what I've been told. Reason being, I had a mate who moved there, and before he moved he said this is the Australian suicide capital. Not a laughing matter, I'm not going to joke about that. It's a pretty serious topic, not one for here though. Speaking of serious topics, these got in trouble in, I think, was it 2016? I can't remember, but what they did was they brewed a beer to celebrate the Bible Society, and the Bible Society have got views on same-sex marriage and all that, and they got in trouble for doing it. And honestly, fucking beer and politics, if you see my review of Dixie beer, politics, you can fuck off when it comes to beer. Beer is for drinking, it ain't about politics. So I'm not even going to go into it, but if you want to look it up, it's on the internet somewhere. Just look up Cooper's Brewery and the Bible Society, and you can read all about it. Personally, I'm not interested.
But we'll follow that in another programme.
Moving along swiftly, let's investigate this beer. Right, as I say, they call it original Pale Ale. That noise is Percy down there. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Wait! What are you doing down there? This is Percy, by the way. He's the channel mascot. Get out of it. Isn't you, mate? He wants his dinner. But I'm going to review this beer first now, mate, alright? So keep your fucking hair on. Stop giving it large. Get out of it. Fuck me, that dog weighs a ton. I think I'm feeding him too much. Yeah, so this beer has got Pride of Ringwood hops. I think that's a first for me. I don't think I've had a beer.
Thank you, feisty beast.
I don't think I've had a beer with Pride of Ringwood hops on it before. Let me shut this door before they start kicking off.
Down, roller.
He'll probably kick that door down in a minute, but there you go, Lois. Yeah, this has got Pride of Ringwood hops in it. I've never tried them before, but apparently they're woody, earthy and herbal. So that will be a first for me. See, one or two. He's trying to get the door in there. Ingredients: barley, hops, yeast, and that's it. Water, barley, hops, and yeast only. Cooper's ales and stouts are naturally bottle conditioned, resulting in characteristic fine sediment forming on the base of the bottle. This sediment is completely natural and can be gently mixed before drinking or poured carefully, knowing the sediment is in the bottle, leaving the sediment in the bottle. Yeah, they say leave the sediment in the bottle, and I think that's, as I've said this on a couple of videos before, I think the reason they say that to do that is so as the beer doesn't go cloudy. But you know, cloudy beer doesn't bother me. That's an old school thing. That was a big thing back in the 80s and the 90s. If you got a cloudy pint, it went straight back. I don't know why, but that's just the way it was. So let's stop. Oh, actually, this is 4.5% and it's a 330ml bottle. So let's stop gassing and let's get it into the glass. I'm not using this cap lifter because it fucking shreds the bottle. Its appearance is pretty indicative of what it will do to the cap. So I think I'm just going to use that as a means of self-defence. There you go. There's a cap. It's just got Coopers on the top of it. Now these are quite well known, and I got this from, I think it was Beers of Europe. Or was it Beer Sniffers? I can't remember. I think it might have been Beers of Europe. But anyway, let's sniff it out of the bottle first. Ugh. That don't smell good. Vague floral and herbal sort of notes coming from that. No real malt at all. Okay, let's get it into the glass and see what's going on. I'm using my new Cloudwater glass. I reviewed that Cloudwater Pilsner last night. If you want to see a rant, keep an eye out for that. This is not looking good. That massive amount of carbonation, the rapidly thinning head, and the dodgy flavour, the dodgy aromas that are coming from it. I have seen this before in a few beers. Once I was proved wrong, but that was the only time. Now, that doesn't look too bad, apart from the head and the aromas that are coming from it are negligible. My instinct says this could be a sink job, but the proof is in the tasting. So let's try it out. The carbonation is really abrasive. That's the first thing I notice. This isn't doing much for me at all. And Coopers, if this is your flagship beer, then you should have serious alarm bells. Look at that, look, that went flat as a witch's tit, and I've just aggravated the glass. And it's gone back up again. Can you hear the carbonation there? That is not good at all. That is really bad. That has got really coarse carbonation. The flavours are just so fucking bland. There's no discernible malt in that. There's vague hop flavour, a little bit of alcohol. No, not impressed. If this is, honestly, if this is your flagship beer, this is fucking terrible. It tastes like cardboard. Tastes like cardboard. Really abrasive carbonation. No discernible malt on the back end. And it's leaving me thinking, why have you bothered? And they say this was like, you know, in Australia, this kick-started the appetite for pale ale. Jesus. I don't know what sort of pale ale it's trying to imitate. I've never tasted a pale ale that tastes like this. It's just totally bland. Absolutely bland. I mean, look at it. And I don't think the camera's doing it justice. It looks like a flat snake bite. There's more light, more yellow hues that are being put on it by the camera. This is not fucking good at all. It smells wrong. Well, there's some herbal notes on it, but I just think, why? What have you done here? It doesn't even taste like beer. I'm not drinking it. That is going down the sink. It tastes of nothing. It tastes of, why the fuck have you bothered? That's what it tastes like to me. It's just bland. There's no discernible malt in there. There's no discernible hops in there. It's just like muddy, vaguely beer flavoured water with a bit of fizz in it. And I think I'm being generous there. It's shit. That is fucking crap. So what's the verdict? Well, the verdict on this is, number one, it's going down the sink. Number two, why the fuck have you bothered? Number three, if this is your flagship beer, I don't want to taste any more of your beer, because if this is the best you can do, nah. Look at it. Can't even hold a head. Not even a hint of a head. Now, I don't know whether this is brewed in Australia and imported over. I don't know. This is bottle conditioned. And I just think, nah, you're taking a piss. This is a 1 out of 10. I urge you not to buy it. It tastes like shit. It tastes like someone who's used either dirty equipment, a brewery that's just lost interest and can't be asked, or a brewery that is just taking the piss. I mean, look at that. Isn't that carbonation? That's what it feels like in the mouth, and it ain't nice. If you imagine that with no flavour. 1 out of 10, not recommended. And remember, I'm drinking this shit, so you don't have to.